Hey guys, it's been a minute. Welcome back to episode 7 of Make War, Not Love. Today I'm joined by a good friend of mine, Anderson. And Anderson, you had something we were talking about just before the camera started rolling. Please hit us with it.
Okay, so more taxes on podcast equipments.
Well, bro, I'm not the one in the comments in my comment section. Like that's the thing. Like some hate. It's just
Yeah.
like you're hating on me, but you took the time out
Yeah.
of your day, went down, scrolled maybe past interesting conversations, whatever, and you put hate in the comments. So it's like, bro, that's more of a reflection of you than it is of me. But it is what it is.
Aha. Then someone says, this is not how the music business works. This is Rwandan Buddy, that's her name. Huh? She has opinions. Joshua Baraka has multiple worldwide hits millions of Spotify monthly listeners. I have to read this again. It's a whole mouthful. Joshua Baraka has multiple worldwide hits, millions of Spotify monthly listeners. Her label would never clear it if it was Ishkeva. So she's talking about how I said Shansia came and she ended up collaborating, having a remix with Joshua Baraka.
Yep.
And it would never work for an artist like Ishkevan because he doesn't have worldwide hits, millions of Spotify monthly listeners.
Okay, first, I disagree with that. Forget, like, it's just Ish Kevin, right? So, Ish Kevin, King Kivubi, Micah Hura, and Angel, and there's also other artists I'm not mentioning. They have the potential to go superstar, but I don't think they have the system. Even if you have a good manager, like
Yeah.
we talked about last time,
Yeah.
you still need to have the whole ecosystem around you to push you,
Yes.
right? And the perfect example of this is I get more support about this podcast
Yes.
from total strangers than people I've known 20 years.
Fact. Same.
Right?
Same for me.
And it's the same with artists or any
Yeah.
other thing you're working.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
get
yeah.
more support
Yeah.
from strangers
Businesses, it's like that.
than
Yeah.
your own people.
Yeah.
Right? So I think it's like we don't have a system to be able to take a guy and then just push him across the world. Because it's not, with social media, it's not that difficult to push someone.
It's
Right?
not.
Because example, right? Have
Yeah.
you seen how whenever there's a new movie, TV show,
Yeah.
you start seeing a bunch of shorts
Yeah.
of like, those highly clipped, highly edited videos from that show? If you did that with one of our artists, you can definitely push him out to East Africa very easily.
And then we're in Rwanda. First of all, the fact that these big hit artists are in Rwanda is crazy. Yeah, no one is like, why? Everyone is always like, why are they choosing Rwanda? Why are they choosing Rwanda? Already it's an issue that Rwanda is on the map and is working with these big artists. So I'm like, if we're pushing the country, let's also push the Rwandan artists.
Yeah.
Why is it so hard for someone to understand that just as Rwanda shouldn't normally access these things, but it is accessing it, why are the artists not having the same privilege?
And the thing is also that the access, it's not like because some of the comments said is that when an artist comes here, they have to work with someone, but more of saying, hey, by the way, can you come meet with these local artists? Right?
Just a meet and greet, man. Just
Right? A meet and greet, because you never know what could come out of it. Who says that Shansia and Ish Kevin couldn't make a fire hit?
How?
Keep in mind, I
Who
don't know
knows?
any key in Rwanda, but every time I hear Ish Kevin, it
You're
sounds
like,
hard.
Come on.
It
come
sounds
on.
hard. Like this guy's going ham on the paint, right? But enough of that. Let's first start off with,
Yes.
how's your week been?
Okay. Thank you for asking. My week has been a bit intense, of course.
I've noticed.
Like I'm counting time right now.
Like before we shot, by the way, she had a whole team of makeup artists and 2 other people assisting her getting ready, shooting videos, and I'm there like, bruh, I just show up and look pretty and click share. That's about it. But continue.
Being a woman is not an easy job.
Every day I thank God I'm a man. But
You know,
continue.
it's not an easy job. So hello everyone. I really wanted us to address these mean comments because this happened in the Global Citizen campaign I was pushing, and you had me on your podcast. So it was a bit intense in your comment sections. And
I just log out of my Instagram and
you
go to
know,
sleep.
and that was Joe. Joe was like, "Why you want to address this stuff?"
Yeah, me, I was just
care
like,
about-
ignore them. We'd continue.
But I feel like because I work in mental health a lot, from cultural basis, I am going through therapy. I feel like people are always asking, how do we deal with comments? How do we survive this? Because it doesn't just affect us, the grown-ups, because, me and you in our 30s, we can handle it. But the children that are using this at 14, 15, look at iShow Speed that was here. He's super young. And he had a lot of hate comments in the comments, had a lot of hate. So sometimes it gets loud and then we refuse to talk about it. Sometimes it leads to suicide, and these are not small numbers.
Yeah, with the comments thing, I just usually like to ignore. And then also because of the previous podcast, I had moments where like there was a girl who slid in my DMs saying, "Oh, I'm sure you're a good person, but this kind of things demeans you, yada yada yada." I looked at it, deleted, and I think blocked. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Then a couple weeks later, I think I saw her in person. That person wasn't yappity. And that's the other thing as well. Mike Tyson once said,
Yeah.
a lot of people are not used to getting punched in the face anymore. I'm sorry.
Nope.
Right?
Nope.
Because it's like, it's one, the way I look at it is if you post a video
Yeah.
and it triggers me,
Yeah.
you know what I do? Scroll.
Just keep going, man.
And if it really pisses me off,
Yeah.
you know what this magical little button?
Yeah.
It's called the block button.
Yeah.
If you don't like me,
Instagram,
just block.
I don't want to watch this type of stuff. I don't want to engage in this type of, that's the first way to deal with it, by the way. Because I'm really trying to find how do we help these 12, 14-year-old children that are meeting these things, and the hate comments kind of feel like a punch for them. It's a physical thing for them.
Yeah.
Because they grew up in this digital world. It's not so far away from them compared to us. We used to play outside before there were actual iPads and everything.
Yeah, I remember like as a kid, I grew up in that world where, do you remember MSN Messenger, Microsoft
Yes,
Messenger,
yes,
and Yahoo? So me and my friends would go online, but at the same time, we'd still log out and then go hang out
Go
in the
play.
park.
But these children have never had that. So it really physically feels these
Like you're being
mean and
attacked,
hate,
yeah.
like you're being physically attacked. So beautiful, beautiful people that are watching, and you always wonder, how do I deal with hate comments? Because it still really hurts people.
Oh yeah, it does.
You know, so first one, just scroll and block. Tell you're not interested, because Instagram is always asking interested or not interested. Just remember to click not interested. Second one, there's a cultural way we deal with this in Rwanda. It is called. There's even a book. It's called Mpangaranguhangari. That means face me and I will face you. So today, I choose to practice Mpangaranguhangari because I can handle it. This is not something you do when you're not at your best mentally.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. If you feel like you're not at your best mentally, you just read something like this, more taxes on podcast equipment, and you feel like it's delete it, block it. You have that power in your fingers. Just as they have that power in their fingers where you also have the power of deleting. But let's do Mpangaranguhangari now. This was normally done by
violence.
I will choose violence because it's part of our culture. So it was done like this. Normally, the men that were the cowboys, that's how we'll call them. They were literally cowboys. They would have the cows, and one boy would go on one hill, and the other one would go on another hill, and they would insult each other. So the book is filled with insults.
Kiara is disrespectful.
It's super disrespectful, especially on family. And do not talk about people's mothers. But in that book, there's a lot of insults about mothers.
Yeah.
And it teaches you to grow thick skin.
Yeah.
It's there because it's a cultural thing that really helps the masculine and males in general, where you're not easily bullied, you're not easily offended, and it helps the mental health also because you release whatever that needs to be released.
Yeah.
So I do it with the hate comments. Some of us can afford it. You will see.
But then also, the way I always look at hate comments is that it's always like a good sign of where you're going, because no one who's doing anything interesting doesn't get hate. Like anyone who's ever achieved anything remotely interesting,
Yes.
half of people love them and half of people hate them. Not exactly down the middle.
And a bit extreme. And people can go really on the street. Look at Jesus. Jesus, people were really on the extreme. They either really, really loved him or really, really hated him. It's a good thing there was no social media. I would have loved to read his comments.
But okay, so that's your week. Now let's go to the comments and dive through some of the other ones.
So we started with the negative ones. We also have the positive ones.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go with the positive ones. This one...
Are you having technological problems?
I'm not a woman in tech. Sorry, if you want to give me money in tech, please give me money. But technology is not something I naturally enjoy. Okay, this one is in the middle. As she said, nah, we heard her. But the fact that all the big Rwandan names can't make big enough hits that go global or even continental and have to rely on global big names, then that comes to show that those so-called big Rwandans' names ain't shit. It responds to what you just said. You said it is impossible that we create big enough global hits if we don't have structure, if we don't have management.
So let me give you an example. That girl from Uganda, I think it's her name, Forever Itinya. I don't know how to say Itinya, Forever Itinya.
Which one?
She's a DJ.
I don't know her.
Forever Itinya, Joshua Barker's girlfriend, isn't she?
Etanya.
Yeah, my dyslexia.
No, but they also say it in a very different... They don't say it how I say it. I say it in a French accent. They say it I don't know how it scares me the way they say her name, but Tanya. I was there in Uganda, so I kept hearing how they say it.
So I saw her snap the other day,
Yeah.
and it was her complaining about how the moment I land, my manager has me working.
Yeah.
And then the next snap is her with her manager, he's just making calls and calls and calls and calls. I bring that up to say is that the manager is pushing her.
Yeah.
Right? When you're working towards something, you're pushing hard as hell.
Yeah.
And here, no one is pushing that hard. They'll push you, but not like...
Artists need management. Artists need structure. It is impossible, I will repeat it, to do pull-off. I was in Uganda when that was happening.
Mm-hmm.
When I tell you Tanya's flyers, billboards were everywhere, it kind of looked like she was trying to be the president. Me, I was there, I was like, what's going on?
Exactly, because they're
This
pushing
is
her. Because it's
crazy.
like, example, I look at like these artists, and it's like first thing in my head, how come they're not doing tours on whether it's radio stations and everything? Because if you're my artist,
Yeah.
you're dropping a new album.
Yes.
I'm gonna find the top 5 podcasts, top 5 radio shows. I'm gonna find the top 5 vloggers or content creators, and I'm gonna go and I'm gonna make sure you sit down with every one of them.
Yeah.
So perfect example, when they're doing a new movie or TV show in America, Hollywood.
Yeah.
You will literally have a moment where you sit down and they bring in 5 to 20 journalists.
Media tours.
Media tours doing this. And you do it
Yeah.
with traditional or
Yeah.
YouTube guys.
All of it, you will do it. You will
You'll
do
do
both
it?
TV, you will do social media. It's crazy
Right.
and tiring, very tiring.
Right? And then when you're done in that city, New York,
Yeah.
you go down to Miami and do the same thing. You fly to Europe and do the same thing.
Yeah.
You fly to London, to
Asia.
Asia.
Yeah.
You get flown. Pay attention to the press conference around new movies and TV shows and how the stars are flown and they're interviewed. And their content floods the space.
Yeah.
If you're my artist
Yeah.
and you're releasing a new song or a new album, I'm going to make sure I'm going to flood you the space. And the thing is, in Rwanda, it's so easy to go viral.
Yeah.
Easy.
Meaning the only thing, I'm just going to say it straight up, the only thing that we're lacking are 2 things. Actual working management. Second, capital venture. We need people to fund this stuff because
Okay,
all of that you're saying is a lot of money.
It's capital venture, yes, but then it's also the. I look at it is because of my experience in marketing and everything. You can still do a lot of this stuff without the use of large capital, and there's creative ways to get around it.
We don't have any capital. I'm not even asking for large capital. We just don't have capital. Look at what you just said. I had a team. I had to have someone who helps me coordinate everything. I had to have makeup. I have the transport that all those people are using, the food. So what is called capital venture, I'm not talking about even yet. I'm not talking about 200 million yet, Rwandan francs. I'm talking about artists are not even affording having 20 million. It becomes impossible to push an album if you don't have 20 million.
Oh no, that's true because even like, it's example with this podcast.
Yeah.
It's mainly me. I always reach out to you for advice and everything. I have a couple friends I can reach out to advice in terms of, hey, what do you think of this, yada yada. My sister manages my TikTok because I
Yes.
detest TikTok.
She's the one who sent me all the
Right.
all the comments.
Manages my TikTok.
Yeah.
And of course, I have the production company behind me, like Zeta Creative. They do all the hard work.
But count all of those people in money.
In money, right?
Crazy. That's a lot.
It's
of money.
crazy. And then on top of that, the thing is I post, but then I have to go through the clips myself, find the ones that work, think of the title, remember this, remember that.
Yeah.
And I still have a regular job and also other projects I'm working on. And it's
He's
exhausting.
he's being humble and he's refusing to say. He still doesn't have a full team, which means you still are not able to have the structure because this podcast, if you had let's say you have 50 million. Imagine it. You have 50 million Rwandan francs. I'm not asking for too much. 50 million Rwandan francs on your BK account.
Oh, first thing is hiring my sister to do the social media.
Yes.
I'm getting a
All of
producer.
it. Yes.
Producer because I need someone to coordinate everything behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And then third, I'm getting someone whose sole job is guests.
Yes.
Right? Because contacting guests, the thing is, it's like sales. You can contact 10 guests.
Yeah.
2 of them will reply to you like there and then.
Yeah.
But then the rest will reply to you later.
3-4 weeks later.
3-4 weeks.
Because they don't understand that this is an urgent thing for you because it's not urgent for them. And then you will have to pay, then the studio, you would increase the time because now it would become your 9 to 5. You
Yeah.
wouldn't work in it. So the industry, the structure, the management, the benefits, the business around it stops Rwandan artists from becoming hit artists. Not because they don't do their job, but because the structure, the money, the business is just not just, it doesn't exist, even people don't understand it yet. Which is why I was not at all offended by your comments at all, because you don't understand what we are talking about yet. Fellow artists don't fully understand the industry. They don't fully understand the creative industry. So it's so hard for them to even mention, okay, what do you need? If you go to all, let's say we are 50 artists, and you give us 50 million, and you come back in 5 years, probably only 2 will have actually become hit artists. Not because they make the best music, but because they are lucky to have the best teams. This is not just a Rwandan problem, it's everywhere.
Yeah, it takes time. You need a whole team to be able to be successful in this thing. You can't do it by yourself.
Yeah.
Again, I have a job. I go to the gym. I have other projects. I still want to live my life. Right?
You still do everything. You don't have a team. You don't have a full team.
Right? And it's not their fault because they don't have the structure. Yeah. But of course, creativity and talent plays a small role. It's not as big as it is.
You need the money. That's first. I give you the money. Any issue you have personally, Joe, it will be done.
Oh, that's perfect. Do you remember the first time you got a good paying job? How many of your problems went away because you could just pay them? Just fix, just...
Seconds.
Oh!
So someone said something like that. Someone said, let's go to the positive one. Y'all didn't understand me. She said me. She said management isn't pushing their artists more like... If we get the best artists, that's one way leverage our artists. Oh, God, wait. I have to make it make sense. Y'all didn't understand Anderson. She said management isn't pushing Rwandan artists because we do have the best artists. That's one way to leverage our artists. We need to push them properly. But you turned what I said, my thoughts, into something else. And this, this is funny. This demure thing doesn't work nowadays because people are offended by how we say things.
Oh, yeah. I piss people off on a regular.
You know? And then they don't hear what you're saying just because...
The way you're saying it.
Girl, I get you, and it's completely fine that they don't get you.
Yeah, it's normal. Talking about hate. Like the one, I think it was with you. I don't remember. The one it was with Amanda. Yeah. Of where I said I received more racism from Rwandese people than I ever got from white people or Asians. Yeah. And the amount of hate, I was just like, wow. Yeah. And the funny thing is, the friends who understood me was I had a couple friends who grew up like me outside, but also even my Métis friends. Yes. If you talk to Métis people in Rwanda, they'll tell you the way Rwandese people look at them. You're not fully Rwandese, you're only half.
And the crazy part is we say it.
They say it to their faces.
I'm like, man, you can think it. But saying it though, I'm like...
I remember talking to one of my Métis friends, and he was like, yeah, dude, I experienced it. I know exactly what you're talking about. It's 100% true. I've talked to multiple Métis people, and they're all like, I see how people look at me because I'm mixed, whatever. One, they don't see me as fully Rwandese. I'm not pure-blooded. Yeah. That bullshit. And then it's they see me as other. Yeah. Different.
Sometimes they treat them, I found the word. It's called pretty punishment. Sometimes they're considered too pretty, so they're punished for the fact that they're pretty. And they're punished because they also get pretty privilege, and others are not getting it, so they will punish you because you get pretty privilege and they don't. Yeah. Now, if we go in that rabbit hole, we will start calling ourselves even colorists. So if you're going off, this one said you're going off, but let's be real. Shansia is a big artist, and her energy in her genre is unmatched in Rwanda. Collabs don't just come out of the blue either. But so this one is not mean. This person is not mean. They're just, I like this comment actually. They're not mean. They're just telling me what they think.
So you know what not my problem with it. My thinking is you'd be surprised how far in life you get by just asking. Yes. So you find that, Shinsi is a big artist. But the thing is, if any of these artists says, hey, dude, this is something I made, what do you think of it? Yeah. They'll say yes. And that's the thing. You have no idea. Like we talked about before, I booked 3 guests in one day. Yes. All because I just asked.
You asked. And these are big deal people. And another thing that people keep mistaking about these big artists, they are the most generous, humble, loving people you'll ever meet. Yeah. From Kendrick Lamar to John Legend to Doja Cat, these are people that actually are open to these collaborations if the structures and systems are working. Because these people are fighting just to come perform in Africa. No one is talking about what they pay, the price they pay for coming to perform here. We haven't even reached that conversation. So
yeah, that's the other thing with the artists is, first of all, the reason some big artists won't come to Rwanda is because we don't have the right equipment to do like a stage performance, right? If you guys don't understand what I'm saying, go look at like example Chris Brown's performances in South Africa.
The infrastructure is
The infrastructure to be able to fly around and do all that stuff. We don't
cables. He
right?
flies.
So example for the UCI, you see those helicopters with the cameras on.
Yeah.
You know we had to get those from Kenya. It was like
People
30 grand a
don't
pop.
know. Yeah.
Dollars per
Because
day.
even look, just a simple drone is so hard to get it up in this country. So now if you're gonna have a whole helicopter, it's a bit insane. Even security-wise, it's a bit insane.
Yeah, so it's that some of them can't perform, not because they don't want to,
No.
it's because they want to be able to put on a performance, right? This is the thing also, another thing is there's a difference between an artist and a performer.
Yes.
Kendrick Lamar is a performer.
Yes.
Chris Brown is a performer.
Yeah, it's a whole
right? Michael
theater
Jackson
thing.
are a performer.
Yeah, it's a whole theater.
Drake is an artist. I'm just throwing shit at him.
No, but there's also, look at Adele. For example, her stage is the most simplistic. She just wants her piano and her.
Yeah, but that's the thing though. Like that's her and John Legend do that because the focus is on the vocals and the depth of their song, right? So that's on purpose.
Yeah.
Performers won't want to come here not because they don't like it, but because it's the equipment. So example, if Chris Brown wants to come and he wants to do that kind of performance he did in South Africa,
he's like, the infrastructure just won't hold.
Even though the thing is, because example, I know a couple people in events, and they told me that for example, like Commonwealth, they had to spend a lot of money bringing things here from Kenya or Uganda that we don't have.
Fact.
So if Chris Brown comes, you may find out he spent 100 grand getting extra equipment.
And it's a real thing. With Doja Cat, they tried their best to do 80% using the equipment here. But it's still hard because she still has to fly in her own sound engineers. They still have to, listen, we will find a way to talk about all these very complex things. But
suffice to say, like putting on a performance is not easy, right? The perfect example is behind us. We have two, I don't know what these lights are called.
Yes.
Studio lights.
Help us? Charms, what are these called?
These lights. Amaron lights, these two big Amaron lights. There's 3 cameras there.
Yeah.
There's a soundboard over there.
Yes.
Altogether, all this equipment is $10,000 plus, right?
And you haven't put in the mic, you haven't put in the amplifier. It's crazy.
It's $10,000 plus. The thing is, it's not just about the money to buy the equipment, but having someone behind the scenes who knows how to do what he's doing.
It's crazy.
It's difficult, right?
Yeah.
And then the sound thing is, in Rwanda, I don't think there's more than 3 or 4 sound engineers.
Yeah.
That's why, guys, when you go to concert events, the music and the performance are so off whack. It's because there's no sound engineers.
And the ones that are there are completely self-taught. So they open their YouTubes and they teach themselves. And it's never... People refuse to acknowledge that there are specific things that you cannot just learn on YouTube. Flying a plane, do not learn from just YouTube. You can use YouTube, but you're going to need somebody to mentor you. It's the same thing with sound engineering. You really need... You'll find most of them are the really best engineers, they're old. 70 and above, 60 and above. These are really good sound engineers. I'm not saying there aren't young ones. I'm not trying to hurt your feelings. But the best...
Someone's feeling always gets hurt.
Everybody got feelings. That is crazy. But the best... sound engineers are grown-ups. So when it comes to sound, we're not saying in Rwanda we don't have sound engineers. We have amazing people, good friends of mine that I use in my events. But when Doja Cat comes, and she comes with her sound engineer, Kendrick Lamar, they're sound engineers, we don't
This is
match.
a whole different league.
Yeah, because everyone that was there for Kendrick, you heard how Bruce Melody sounded. It was completely different from how Kendrick sounded. And everyone's like, Bruce doesn't know how to sing. I'm like, put respect on his name.
Yeah, it's not
the guy can sing. Okay, even on horrible sound, he sings. He sings. So the issue is still, we have a long way to go when it comes to those things.
Yeah, the creative space, like, you guys don't realize how difficult, like...
Thank you for calling it a space and not an industry. Because I believe we haven't reached to a space where we can call it an industry.
Yeah,
it is a space. These are platforms, these are spaces. They're not yet industries. And that's why you get offended when we say it should have been a collaboration. In spaces, yes, Shansia can make a collaboration with Ish. Doja Cat could have made a collaboration with Angel Mutoni. Because those artists, the fact that they're in Rwanda is unfathomable for some people. They don't even understand why they're here. Some people fight for them not to come here. So since they're here, please, let there be structure so that we also get something from it.
The perfect example of that is I Show Speed. Like, when he was doing his Africa tour.
Yes.
The biggest comment from, like, Black Americans, or just a lot of people were like, I had no idea that Africa was this clean or this nice. Not just about Rwanda, but it's like about the other, because it's like...
The narratives,
Every country you went to, you just got more pardon me, more and more viewers, and he was showing them the side of the place they've never seen. So they were like, oh, it's safe.
No, it was gorgeous.
Right? Like that one I loved when he was on top of the Land Cruiser going through Nyamirambo. I was like, yo, welcome to my home country. But yeah, hit us with another one of those.
The last one. Hi, Lisa Ineza. She said, everyone is missing her point here. If you watch this clip before this, if you watch the clip before this one, or the podcast as a whole, that's another thing. When it comes to Make War Not Love, first of all, I love the name. It's quite provocative.
Oh, yeah, it is.
People only watch the clips you put on the
TikTok and
Instagram, and they don't watch the full context. That's where the problem is people don't take time to understand the whole context. But also, we have to be honest on this. We also use that we completely use
it's marketing.
It's pure marketing, and I don't have a problem with it, me personally.
Trust me, let me tell you something. Once I get a team, you'll see proper marketing, because the things I want to do, just again, I'm at my limited terms of capacity.
Yes.
I've had to turn down things just because I'm like, dude, it's too much.
It's too much work. It's too much work. So if you're 14 and you're 13 and 15 and you're watching our comment section and you're getting scared, please understand we're doing this on purpose. We have no problem with people having mean comments towards us, because that's engagement. We would rather have a lot of people comment than something getting 0 comments.
I always say be careful with comments, because I learned from Joe Rogan. He's like, don't pay attention to it too much.
Do not watch it, in my opinion. If you're under 18, don't watch it.
So like what I do, like, if I'm watching like a historical video or like something where you're learning something, I like the comments, because people will be like either correcting or adding, right?
Yes.
But with other thing, the moment I see a negative comment, I put it down. Like, you know, on your phone, I remove that and I just put whatever and just put full screen so I can ignore it. Because the comments is like, people are willing to say what they won't say in person.
Yes.
Because in person, most people don't have the balls, the kahunas, to say the kind of shit people say in the comments.
Yes.
But because of anonymity and the freedom of the internet, they'll say all sorts of shit. But in person, they don't have the balls to say it.
No.
But
it is what it is. So if you're 14, we are really worried about people's mental health, because, for example, every time when I meet people talking about Joe, they're like, your friend says this and this and this. And I'm looking at them, I'm like, well, whatever he says, I just have one question that I always ask them. When you look at Make War Not Love, or just Joe Makuza in general, is what he says not a thought that you've had?
Oh, yeah.
And they say yes. Have you ever voiced it to your friends? And they say yes. Would you ever voice it to your friends? Regardless that you saw the comments, would you ever voice it to your friends? And say yes. So the only difference between you and Joe is that he's on camera and you're not. There's a word for that. I'm not going to say it, but there's a word for that, for those type of people that cannot say things. She talks about how artists are sometimes told not to ask too many questions or not to speak at all at meet and greets with international artists who come here. She is me. And the song even compares it to how parents send kids to their room when visitors come over. The message is this: Rwandan artists are treated like they might embarrass the country if they speak up, ask questions, or try to initiate collaborations. So, our own management silence Rwandan artists far too much. And a few other things, it's not just artists. Artists like Mike Kaihura, Bruce Melody, Kivumbi King, and others all have huge potential for major collaborations, yet somehow it still rarely happens. Or let me add, when it does, it's not pushed properly. For example, I don't understand at all how Mike Kaihura doesn't have a collaboration with Sauti Sol. It baffles me.
Oh, yeah, that one I never understood, because actually they're on the same terms of like style of music.
And they meet all the time. When I tell you, every time when Sauti Sol is here, they meet Mike Kaihura. And people are like, there might be a song that they did and you don't know about it. And I'm like, the fact that I don't know about it, that means management is not doing their job. How, like, do we need to scream this? Because how? How is it that Mike Kaihura doesn't have at least 3 songs with the Sauti Sols? Bien-Aimé or particular someone or particular Fancy Fingers, somebody in the Sauti Soul should have a song with Mike Kaihura, and that song should be pushed properly, not just in the... Because artists can make that happen, actually. Mike Kaihura can talk to Fancy Fingers, can talk to Bien-Aimé, and then they can have a song. But if there's no proper management to push it, it will not become a hit song. Not because the song is not good. Not because Mike Kaihura does not sound good on stage. Not because our sound engineers and all these problems we've stated. No, because there's no proper structure. Second, because there's no funding that's going to push that song.
Exactly.
It's expensive for artists to become hit global artists. It's expensive.
Yeah, because you need a whole machine. And the thing of the kids thing, I've noticed it as well. I get it from the perspective of you don't know how someone reacts. So, example, remember there's a time we talked about starting a marketing company, and I thought about doing it with someone else.
Yes.
But the problem is I didn't trust that person not to say or do something stupid when I'm not around.
I see what you mean.
I see that point. But at the same time, you also need to give like your artists like media training.
Yeah.
Me and
Ahead
you-
of time.
Ahead of time. Me and you have incidental media training because of what we do and everything and our
Yes.
experiences. But if you give them some media training and they know what to say and not to say in a good way, right? I'm not saying that you have to prohibit your artists, but
No.
you know what to say at the right time. That's just as important as knowing when to say it. They treat them like little kids.
Yeah.
And it's not just that. Something me and my sister were talking about is, example, you'll see kids in the street running around doing those tricks, like jumping over bikes or whatever. You see kids rollerblading. You see kids doing skating. The other one. You see these kids dancing, right? And people are like, I remember there's sometimes with Kigali Heights, you see kids down there dancing, recording videos. I'm like, oh yeah, let them be. They're just doing their own thing. And I hear in Kenya, it's like, what are these kids doing?
Yeah.
Dancing.
Yeah.
Putting aside, I'm like, bro, just let them be.
Let them. That's how they grow. You have to allow
So
it.
everyone agrees, all these people doing different things has amazing talent or potential and everything, but no one goes, how come we haven't built a gymnasium for these kids? How come there's no skate park for these kids who like to skate? How come there's no place for these kids who love dancing to serve something where they go in and they can learn dancing, how to monetize and make money off it? Because there's some people who are making money off dancing here in Rwanda.
Yes, amazing. Look, the girl who's speaking in Chinese, what's her name? The
Yes, that one.
dancer. The dancer, she's amazing, man. She was teaching in Chinese. I was like, what? She's called Sadi Vibes on her
Exactly.
Instagram. Sadi Vibes. She's killing it.
So how come like we have these kids with amazing talent, but we don't provide a space for them or like infrastructure for them to be able to? And again, I know it's not easy.
And we're talking about creative industry. Understand, football, it's there, yeah? There's a Mahoro Stadium for that. Then there's basketball. Now we have BK Arena. And we also have Zario Court. That means there's two spaces. There's more spaces for football and sports than there are of music and entertainment. Yet, music is being used everywhere all the time.
Yeah, we love music, right? It's for the space for the creatives. For basketball, sports, and everything is there.
Yeah.
And I've worked with some people, and they say even there, things are taking some time to get support.
Yes.
But now, because of the
At
president, they're pushing it more because it's, of course, the benefit of sports tourism, whether it's with the arena or Amahuro.
Yeah.
But with the creative, there's a lack of support because even like people still like, example, some family members of mine, no shade against them, they're not saying anything bad, but they're like, what's the point of you sitting in front of a camera and talking? How do you make money?
What is that about? Yeah.
What is that? Like it's from
They
them.
don't mean it in a bad way.
Yeah, they're like genuinely curious because they don't understand it.
Yeah.
And I'll explain it to them, right? And I explain, look, the reason I want to do a podcast is because I find conversations interesting. I remember the best conversations I've ever had in my life. I remember arguing with my friend Daniel, who was Japanese English, in 8th grade outside of our class, because we were both atheists at the time, about the logic of believing in God.
Yes.
That was in 2009. Right, I remember other amazing conversations I've had with people, and they always stick it to my head.
Yeah,
because like I feed off like the energy of good conversation and vibes.
And for religious people, it's where faith comes from.
Right, so it's like I want to have those conversations on camera because there's things I've noticed. It goes back to that thing I always say is that I'm Rwandese, but I'm not Rwandese.
Yes.
I'm Rwandese enough to understand where our psychology and our culture and our issues and our good things come from.
Yes,
but not Rwandese enough to go be like, nah, that's bullshit. Why we're not talking about this, right?
Why?
Think about all the different topics we talk about off camera.
If we could talk about it on camera.
The conversations yesterday. Oh,
I think your comment section would now it would be disabled. Is that how?
Yeah,
they call it?
I would have to disable it,
Yeah,
right?
you would have to disable them.
There's other interesting conversations I really want to have,
Yeah.
or whatever, right? And also with other projects I'm working on is also showing off the different sides of Rwanda, right?
Yes.
Like when I've had an episode that's coming out soon.
Soon. Yes,
with
tell
my
them a
friend,
little bit, tease them a little bit.
I have my friend on Hendrix. He works with snakes.
Yeah.
And me and him will have amazing conversations off camera.
Yes.
We'll meet at the gym. We'll be like working out. We'll run into each other for 30 minutes. We're standing there just talking about some random
Let's
animals
talk
thing.
fast and then work out.
Yeah, right? So these amazing conversation, I find that in Rwanda, it's not being had and they need to be had.
And they need to, because conversations shape narratives. And the first African problem we're having is not just money. Money is there, resources are there. But because of how the narratives is shaped, because of lack of conversations, then That's why I Show Speed is coming and everything is like, what? What? He's surprised because we're not allowed to do the work of telling our stories, of having our conversations.
That's a perfect example. So like I work with Americans,
Yeah.
and sometimes we'll just be chilling, shooting the shit and having fun, telling people like we'll like on the team we'll talk about like where we're from, our country, whatever. So like sometimes I'll go on like Google Street Maps and I'll show them around. Oh, this is where I live. This is whatever. Yada yada. They're like, what? But there's always all these things are about happening to your neighbors and stuff.
Yeah.
Like that's them, my nigga. That's a them issue. Us, we good. Like it's safe and secure. Like what? Whatever. And I'll tell them like stories about Rwanda, and it's like, because for me growing up outside of Rwanda, I remember the first day I got to school in Japan.
Yeah.
We had a trial period. So
Yeah.
basically, you go to school for a couple of days to see if it's the right place for you. And I come to the class. We had a teacher. I forgot her name, unfortunately. She was a really good English teacher. She was like, "Oh, Joe, where you from?" "Oh, I'm from Rwanda." It's like, huh? No one even knew of Rwanda because this is like 2005.
Yeah.
So they get out the map, and I go like, "This tiny," and I'm like,
That
"Damn,
cute
we're
little
small.
dot. That cute little dot.
We're this tiny little country." And unfortunately, I don't know. Had the movie Hotel Rwanda come out at the time?
If it had,
2005?
it was probably not famous yet.
I don't remember, but the point I'm trying to get to say is that
Yeah.
everyone knew Rwanda for what happened for the
During the
night genocide,
genocide,
right?
yeah.
So people were like, "Dude, Rwanda is more than that."
Yeah.
Yes, we're not defined by our past. We learn from it, and we learn from it, and we move forward.
There's whole human beings. It's a whole country.
Right, and I want to show the people the culture, the
Yeah.
interesting conversations, because from outside, that's what people are saying.
Yes.
But then
Till now, people pretend like now it's still there.
Here's a converse version of that.
Yeah.
When I was in Lusaka,
Yeah.
this is like 2015 to 2018-ish.
Yes.
A lot of people I would meet like with doing their own things. They'll always be like, "Hey, you guys are very good at marketing, Air Rwanda and everything." But they would always ask me this question: "Why is Rwanda famous?" And I was
True.
like, I didn't know how to like encapsulate at the time. My sales skills were horrible back then.
You're still young.
Right? I'm still young, right? And it's
Yeah.
like, why is Rwanda famous? Why is Rwanda famous? Why is Rwanda famous? And when I had a couple of friends of mine come here to Rwanda to visit, they're like, "Oh, I get it now."
Yeah.
Like, the moment I got why foreigners like being here is I was driving through near the golf course
Yes.
at nighttime.
Yes.
And it was like 2 a.m. And I saw some random white woman
Yes.
walking
Yeah.
safe.
Yeah.
Both earphones, not
Yeah.
a care in the world. I was like,
Yeah.
you see? That's how you know you're in a safe place.
Yeah.
Random white women can walk in
Yeah.
the middle of a park and be completely fine.
Yeah.
And I was like,
I still feel like we're not, my opinion, I feel like we shouldn't be more famous than we are because there's also problems that will arrive. Like we have too many tourists, like it becomes like a tourist country. But I feel like we're not famous enough compared to what we actually get to experience. When you go to Europe, when you go to America, when you go to Asia, it's almost impossible for us women to feel as safe as you feel when you're in Rwanda. Not because it's just home. That thing you just said of a woman can walk at 4 a.m. I remember first time I realized it, I was 24.
a white woman is the joke and implications why I'm saying it
I know,
specifically. It's nothing against white women, but it's just like the joke here, right?
I know, but it's even, people don't go push it. It's even harder for a black woman to walk at 4 a.m. in the US. It's harder for a black woman to walk at 4 a.m. in Berlin. They know what I'm talking about, Alexanderplatz. You won't just walk at 4 a.m. in Alexanderplatz by yourself with headphones in, and you are just, excuse you. But everywhere I've traveled to, even in Africa, 4 a.m. is a thing. 2 a.m. is a thing. In Rwanda, I had completely forgotten that you have to actually think about it's really late. So
Yeah.
next thing, I'll always have a fight with my mom where she's like, Anderson, you cannot just walk at 2 a.m. at night. And I'm like, yes, I can.
In Rwanda, you can. And that's the funny thing is,
In
whenever
Rwanda,
you
you
talk
can.
to people who go to Rwanda for the first time and they come back to other African countries,
Yeah.
the first thing they say is, "Oh my God, it's clean and it's safe here. Things work properly like they should."
And another one is the traffic lights.
The traffic lights.
They're like, oh, everyone stops when it's red. Everyone, why are we stopping? And I'm like, there's a traffic light, it's red. And they're like, that's a thing here? And I'm like, yeah, we follow them. So, and they're like, but we're not white people. This is not Europe. We should be able to. And I'm like, no, you will follow the red light.
Yeah, because example, like with Lusaka, I love Lusaka, but like past 10
Yeah.
p.m.,
Yeah.
you don't see anyone walking. Like in my neighborhood, keep in mind, I was in a good neighborhood. It was safe, right?
Yeah.
But past 10 p.m., you never see anyone walking. There was a bar that was probably a 10-minute walk.
Yeah.
I can never walk there to my house at nighttime. in Lusaka.
I've visited Congo. This is a bit of a sensitive subject, but I've visited Bukavu. I've visited Goma. 7 p.m. Every young woman has to be in the house. 7 p.m. Every woman has to be in the house. Really, 6 p.m. the door closes.
Yeah, but then like going back to the creative industry,
Yeah.
if you look at some of the things I share on Instagram, the one thing is like I share a lot of like different Rwandese content creators. In terms, not content creators in terms of like YouTubers, whatever, but like there's one I think I shared recently. It was like these photographers, and they got, let me find it for you, and they went to the village.
Yeah.
And they gave these tontines, these moms in the village, a phone, and they were taking selfies with it. I need to give it to someone so we can put it up on the screen. Because when I saw it, it was so awesome.
Perfect.
This one.
No, the creatives are killing
We
it.
just mute the music because of copywriting. Music because of copywriting.
It's true. Ngororero, Gakenye.
Yeah, we have to put it here and put the credit. Because I saw that, I was like, this is so cool.
Yeah. Wait, it's Alan King first. I think I know who this is.
Right? So like seeing these
and the font is gorgeous.
Right? So seeing these like different creatives do different things here in Rwanda.
Yeah.
It's just like, we're more than just like what happened to us.
Yeah.
We took it as a lesson and then we're moving forward. And there's so much potential in Rwanda, like people do not understand.
We just need, again, proper and in the whole creative industry. I'm not just talking about music, but start with music. But the whole creative industry, we just need structure and capital venture. And I feel like we don't need loans yet because we're not yet ready for loans. We need first capital venture. We need people to invest capital funds for a short period of time. And then we can start sustaining loans, but not yet loans.
Yeah, with the capital and everything, the perfect example is, hey guys, I made a vlog. It's going to be coming out soon. You should find
That's
out.
the second thing you just said that's coming out.
So with that vlog, what I realized, it was about the rally that happened.
Yes.
And one is because I went with a cameraman and a driver, and both of them was their first time.
Yes.
And they loved it. And I'm like, you guys never done this? They're like, no. And it was like, for me, because I wanted to show the rally, because I go there on a regular with friends, or shout out to my dad to introduce me to it. Yeah. So it's normal for us, wherever it is, it was in Nyagarama. It's normal for me with my friends. We go there, we get a driver, we pick up a spot, we get some beers, some food, we chill, watch the rally come. When it's the next stage, we move on, go watch. The finish, we go see the announcements and everything. But then people had never seen it.
Yeah.
And the problem I realized is that also, like, having talked to people in marketing and businesses here, a lot of them says, we have marketing money to allocate, but there's nothing for us to sponsor.
Yeah.
There's nowhere to put our money.
But also, let's be specific. If you hear that, they're going to come for me. We're talking about Nyirangarama. Nyirangarama is one of the best investors in this country. This is a man, Sina Gerard. He's a man who's really done big investments and big funding. And it's rare. We don't have 20 Sina Gerard. We don't have them. But if we had them, though, we would be dangerous. Now, on that particular part of there's actually money and people who are ready to invest and just not the right structure. Yeah?
Because no one's coming to them, right? Like saying,
structure.
hey, let's work on this project. Let's try this thing out. And also the other thing is I realized
But
is that...
you have to mention he's about to change that because then they'll come for us. Remember, you have to remember the mean comments.
They mean, like, I'm trying to do it my own way, but like... the other thing is, wow, I just had an ADHD moment. I completely forgot what
Sorry.
I've been having ADHD and dyslexic moments. Like,
but you know why? It's because we're working nonstop. We need to start sleeping.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need rest.
Yeah, and I'm hungover.
I know you're working out. I know, but we need to sleep. Don't mention that on camera. They don't need to know that other part. But we're tired. We need to sleep. That's the ADHD. And that's another thing. If you feel like you're getting tired easily and you're working, your mental health is getting affected, sleep.
Yeah, that's true. So I was going to say, we'll try and change that. But also the other thing is I've noticed is that sometimes you just have to be the first person to try something and then everyone else will follow.
But it's so hard. Then you have
being
burnouts.
the first person. Yeah?
Then you have burnouts.
Yeah, it's very hard, but like sometimes you have to go, like, this is the way I look at it, is sometimes you have to go ham on the paint for like a month or even 3 months with proper rest, of course, and then relax. So there's an entrepreneur I follow, that's what he does. He's like, 3 months I work hard. Yeah. And then for a month or two, me and my friends fly to South Africa and just have fun.
Yeah, remember, you need capital for that.
No,
Me and you cannot afford that right now. It would be nice. We wouldn't mind resting, for 3 months, but we cannot afford that yet. But Hertz Fauzan said something. You remember the man I like a lot, Train of Thoughts. He said something about that. I'm gonna send it to you. It's quite controversial. In the comments are mean. He said, make sure you're always not the first one who does something. Because Michael Jackson was not the first one who did the moonwalk. The people who did the moonwalk, the first ones, we don't know. Steve Jobs was the first one who had that idea of Apple. There was someone else who started with that. So try to not be the first one to do something. But if you choose to, this is also something he said, then be aware that the struggle is not going to be a joke. And be aware that your mental health needs to come first. Otherwise, you will crumble.
Yeah, that's the other thing. People don't realize. This is funny. Like when I understand enough Kinyarwanda to understand the gist of people and the intentions behind it.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about old school Kinyarwanda people in the village. That is, I can't understand. I'm just like, and I always hear people like they're talking shit about these other big content creators, like, oh, it's easy, whatever. It's like, no, I've met them and they put actual effort into what they do. I've been around my friends when like these content creators are working on a project. I know how much work they do.
Yeah.
Right? Like
all these meetings are because of this, man.
Right.
All these meetings I'm doing, all this exhaustion is because of this.
Like the rally thing.
Yeah.
I had to wake up at 5 a.m.
Yes.
I had to get a driver.
Yeah.
I had to get a cameraman. I had to get an editor.
And all these things he's saying, he's paying. Yeah, that's
My
also
own
money that's coming out that you're not getting back. There's
Right.
no capital. You're not monetized. You're not getting back this money.
Pick up the guy. We go to Nyangarama. It's like almost 1 hour, 30-minute, 2-hour drive. We have to find the spots. We have to coordinate. ETC. By the end of the day, I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
So the event finishes. I just go in my car. Even though those other videos I wanted to shoot, I had to go in my car because I was just like, I'm tired.
I'm done. I'm finished.
I'm done.
Capacity is finished.
In the car, I was like, yo, guys, I'm going to be quiet. I just put my earphones on, listened to a podcast, and I got home and I was just like emotionally
drained.
I felt like a used condom, basically. I was just like,
Sorry, I hope the children are not watching, but let's close it up because, you know, we have 5 minutes.
I have work.
This is crazy.
Okay,
Yes.
but yeah, first of all, the comments, I usually just ignore them. There are some good comments. Thank you for the ones you read.
Hi, Lisa. Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you, Lisa. The negative ones I ignore because why taking time out of your day to comment on something you dislike when you could just swipe by?
I just had an idea. Maybe you should have Lisa on.
We'll talk about this after.
Yes.
Yeah. Why are you taking the time out of day to leave a mean comment? Like, if you don't like something, just scroll up. And then also, I think sometimes people are just looking for attention. So I'm looking for attention, so I know when I see it.
You're like, we see you, we understand you.
Do you have anything else to say or finish?
Yeah, for the mean comments, mahangarango hangare, for the ones that can afford it. If you feel like you have the spirit, some of us love to fight, we choose violence. Do it properly. There's a way to go hangara. Someone be gentle about it, but still be firm. Remind people that you can hiss, man. A snake here and there will still... to remind you, don't play with me.
Yeah.
I'm going to hurt you. If you're not in that mental state, if you don't feel that capacity, like he said, he gave you many options. You can hide the comments. You can make a full screen.
Or just ignore.
Just ignore. But if you also tried all those things and you still feel like you're at the edge, please remember there are therapists in Rwanda. There are actual therapists who can help you with your mental health. So reach out in the comments, reach out in the DMs if you feel like you need help. We can send you the numbers. We can take you. The Circle Kigali is amazing for that. We have so many amazing spaces for therapy. Go for it. Don't get to we are having young people that are committing suicide, so we cannot keep quiet about these things.
Just before we finish on that point, something I realized.
Yeah.
So I have like 2 phones, and sometimes I let my anxiety get the better of me, like anyone else. And what I do is at the end, at the end of the day, you just want to wind down.
Yes.
What I find myself doing nowadays is I'll log out of social media and put that phone on the other side of the room.
Yes.
Take my other phone that has just YouTube on it.
Yes.
And I'll just watch YouTube shorts.
Without getting those little notifications.
And then, like, I remember this happened last night, is I needed to pick up my other phone to send a message to someone. I picked it up.
Yeah.
And because it was on Instagram, I had to log in, send it. And then I got sucked into it for 10 minutes. I was like, what am I doing? And I could like feel it in my head. I'm doing log out, put it back. And then I felt the anxiety in my brain just go down. I'm like, okay.
Remember to do that. Creators, remember to do what he's talking about.
Like just log out.
Yeah.
If you have the ability to have 2 phones, do it. If you have need to get an app blocker, like that's what I do sometimes when I'm really like stressed out. I'll put a time on my phone. So, okay, no social media for the next 2 hours. What am I doing? Work and keeping myself busy.
And that's for both the creators and the people that are watching. Please remember to make sure you take care of your mental health by block the notifications, like he's saying, log out. These are conversations that I'm bringing up because we're going to start monetizing. We're going to start making money off of this. Meaning, whatever speed Rwandans are on either watching or consuming, is going to triple double because now we're involving money in it. So I need you all to start creating healthy routines where you go to therapy, where you put your phone on the other side of the room, where, like he said, where you make it a full screen thing. But if you've really, really reached the rock bottom, I don't talk about these things because this is lived experience. Please reach out to spaces that can help you. So, in those comments, instead of writing mean comments because you want to jump,
Yeah, you can't control people. Just let them
just
be.
ask us. I need help. We will send you the stuff either in the comments or in the DM.
Actually, after this, we'll talk about if you know any articulate therapists I can get on for the other one.
Yes.
But otherwise, for that, guys, we're gonna have to love you and leave you. So please comment, like, share, and subscribe. Follow Anderson as usual because she's always doing something interesting.
Yeah.
And if you guys are ever looking to start a podcast, I always recommend Zeta Creative.
Yes, Zeta.
Zeta, yes. Anything else we're missing out on?
Not right now. Watch for the next one, you know?
All right. Cheers, guys. See you guys soon. Peace.